He's averaging 24 points per ball game as the two teams trail out on the floor. Tim Kane, the leading scorer so far to this point for the Wildcats. He's averaging over 20 points a ball game, and we're about to get underway. Wildcats wearing their white jerseys with cardinal numerals. The Cavaliers wearing all red with a little red, white and blue as well. To jump for the Cavaliers will go, looks like Delaney. He'll jump against Shaun Bohanon. We're about to get this one underway. From the Oak Ridge Gym, ball up tip control by the Cavaliers, but the Wildcats steal it. Bohanon goes in for the layup. Back inside it goes to the Wildcats. Gipson. Ball goes out of bounds. Wildcats turn the ball over. It'll be the Cavaliers basketball, and we're underway from the Oak Ridge High School gym. 7:54 to play. The Wildcats put on pressure. Down the floor will come number 12. That'll be Terry Delaney. Works the ball across the line with a long pass. All that goes to Matt Neighbors. Neighbors works the ball back out for a three-point shot. It's on its way. Rims out. No good. On the rebound, Oak Ridge's John Marsh battles for it. Then Cookeville knocks it out of bounds. It'll be Oak Ridge basketball. Wildcats will have Bell Brock to work the ball in. 0-0 the score, just underway. 7:41 to play in the first quarter. And Joe, I'm going to ask you, how does it feel sitting courtside watching a team that you played for 3 years?
It feels weird, David, sitting courtside without a uniform on.
Shaun Bohanon with the basketball outside the line, inside to a cutting Brock, inside Mike Gipson, turning, spinning, driving, shooting up, no good. Rebounded by Delaney. Down the floor will come the Cavaliers. Long pass down the right side will go to Jackson. Jackson in the right corner, harassed everywhere he goes by Mike Gipson. Back to the top to Neighbors. Neighbors guns the three, good. 2-point shot, and they lead it by a score of 2-0. Down the floor will come Oak Ridge. Mike Gipson down the floor for the Wildcats. Penetrates all the way through, kicks it back out to Shaun Bohanon. Bohanon thought about a three, won't take it, looks inside to Kane, fires it back out to Bohanon for three, it's on its way, good! 3-point shot, Shaun Bohanon. That's a great way to come off the football field and start the season. They come back the other way and score easily with number 24, Brandon Flatt. Both teams like to run. Oak Ridge trailing now 4-3, and here comes Mike Gipson down the floor. Back to Shaun Bohanon, another three on its way. This one's no good. On the rebound will come the Cavaliers. Long pass intercepted by Bill Brock. Bill Brock with the basketball. Back the other way quickly for the Wildcats. Waits for the rest of his teammates to bring the ball back down the floor. The Wildcats will set it up. Shaun Bohanon, top of the key, back to Gipson. Right corner, looking inside. Looks for Kane up high. Now penetrates in, turning, spinning, kicks it back out to Bohanon. Bohanon drives in, free throw line. Back to Kane. He'll drive. He'll walk. Wildcats turn the ball over. Oak Ridge trailing by a score of 4-3. Cookeville will work the ball in. Steve Wittenberg with a half-court pass intercepted by Kane. Kane on a deflection, pulls it inside to Marsh. Marsh tries to get the basketball, does. On the baseline, then it's ripped out of his hands and knocked out by Mark Jackson, a 5'9" sophomore. It'll be Oak Ridge with the basketball underneath the goal, trailing 4-3. It'll be Shaun Bohanon to work the ball in. Bohanon from the baseline to Tim Kane, left corner. Trapped in the corner, has to get rid of the basketball to Marsh. Marsh turning, spinning, shooting up. No good. On the rebound will come Shaun Bohanon. Then a foul's going to be called. They might call it on Shaun.
Yeah, well, Cookeville did that a lot last year whenever we played him. They trap in the corners, and like you mentioned earlier in the broadcast, David, they're going to throw a lot of different defenses at this Wildcat basketball team.
4-3 our score. They've yet to get the ball in bounds. Now they do finally into Delaney. Delaney works the ball down the floor himself. Will dribble the ball. Bell Brock picks up the man Mike Jackson as he brings it across the line. Jackson all the way inside, dribbling inside. Lost the ball. Taken away by Kane to Mike Gipson. Gipson with the basketball. Down the floor, here comes Oak Ridge. Mike with it all the way across the line. Behind the back dribble, back to Kane. Kane to Brock, right corner. Bill, a wide open three. No good. At the rebound, Delaney. It's a 1-point game. Cookeville on top, 4-3. 5:35 to play in the first quarter. Down the floor, Matt Neighbors, left corner, lost the ball out of bounds. Oak Ridge will get it. Both teams a little bit ragged here in the early going. The Wildcats have the right to be because a lot of these guys have not been out here too long. Cookeville trying to rush, I believe, against the Wildcats athletes.
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see what type of conditioning factor will come into play tonight as Wildcats play with 3 football players on the floor.
With the basketball, Bill Brock for the Wildcats. Top of the circle, looking to his right to Shaun Bohanon. The Wildcats trailing by 1, 4-3. Shaun Bohanon has all the Wildcats' points. He had a three-pointer, has to back up, goes inside to Gipson. Gipson driving, stopping, has his shot blocked, goes out of bounds. It'll be Oak Ridge basketball. Mike Gipson tried to drive through. Shot was blocked by Terry Delaney. Looked like a foul from my point of view, but it'll still be Oak Ridge's basketball.
Yeah, well, as the season goes on, that can be a great play for the Wildcats. Mike Gipson's a real strong player, and he can post up a lot of the smaller guards in the league.
Oak Ridge works the ball inside to Bill Brock, top of the key, now penetrates all the way through, goes in for the layup. Brock off the glass, no good, but does draw the foul. The Wildcats, I can see already, Joe, have a decided quickness advantage over the Cavaliers. It'll be Oak Ridge at the free throw line. Bill Brock at the line for the Wildcats is yet to score. As let's see, Kane, Gipson, Bohanon, Marsh, and Bill Brock are in the ball game for the Wildcats. It'll be Vail at the free throw line.
Yeah, well, the Wildcats really haven't been patient. It's been a lot of one-on-one. They've really tried to force a lot of one-on-one moves, and luckily Vail's been able to take it to the rack, and he'll go to the line for 2 shots.
Shoemaker and Coach Steve Shipley having words about who indeed the foul was called on. Good crowd on hand here at the Oak Ridge High School gym. You're listening to the game live on AM 1290 WATO, Tennessee Cablevision, Channel 12. Shot is up, no good, and the rebound, Bell Brock for the Wildcats. Wildcats set it up to Kane. Tim Kane back to Marsh. Marsh to Shaun Bohanon, wide open three. Shaun goes, good! 3-point shot. Shaun Bohanon, his second of the first quarter, and the Wildcats lead as they take a shot, no good. Marsh on the rebound for the Wildcats. Ripped out of his hands, and then a foul is going to be called, I do believe, against either number 12, Terry Delaney, or John Marsh. It goes against John Marsh. That'll be his first personal foul. 7-4 Oak Ridge, and Shaun Bohanon.
He's on fire, David. But the Wildcats are having a little bit of trouble recovering and getting back on defense as Cookeville's really pushed. As there's an alley-oop knocked away by Tim Kane.
Saw that play many times with Daryl Miller and Cameron Sexton as the shot is up and good on the offensive putback shot. And Oak Ridge's lead is 1. 7-6. Here comes Kane. Tim Kane, cross-court pass, Shaun Bohanon. Now he'll penetrate in, take it all the way off the glass for a shot. Good! Shaun Bohanon scores, and he has 8 points. Wildcats up by a score of 9-6. Down the floor will come the Cavaliers. They'll take a 3. Good. 3-point shot made good by Mark Jackson, and back the other way we go. 9-9 the score. Mike Gipson to Marsh. 1 dribble, 1 shot, 2 points. Marsh scores. Here come the Cavaliers quickly running again the other way. All the way down the floor it goes to Neighbors. Neighbors in for the shot. Good! And he's fouled. Coach Carringer told me both teams like to run, and so far that's all we've had here in the first quarter. 11 the score.
Yeah, that's 7 points for Matt Neighbors, and he'll go to the line to try to complete the 3-point play. And off the bench is going to be number 32, Darian Milton, who will replace John Marsh, who will have to have a seat with 2 personals.
4 minutes to play, first quarter, 11 the score. The girls won tonight 57-40. At the free throw line, 1 shot. Matt Neighbors, 6'1" senior, trying to convert the 3-point play. Missed a shot on the rebound. Oak Ridge's Tim Kane. Kane and the Wildcats down the floor to Darian Milton. The Wildcats tied at 11. They'll bring the basketball down the floor. Mike Gipson to Shaun Bohanon, right corner. Bohanon looks inside to a cutting Gipson, turning, spinning 5-footer, good. Mike Gipson has his first 2 points, and the Wildcats lead by a score of 13-11. Down the floor once again will come Jackson. Jackson works it across the line, pass intercepted by Darian Milton, and a foul's called against Cookeville. Personal foul against the Cavaliers. Oak Ridge is so quick out there, Joe.
Oh, they really are a very athletic team, and they're using it to their advantage against a slower Cookeville team.
It'll be the Wildcats with the basketball side court as they substitute John Mullins, 6'1" sophomore, into the ball game. Checking out will go number 50, Steve Wittenberg. Oak Ridge basketball, 13-11 the score. Oak Ridge by 2. Mike Gipson, top of the keys, inside the circle, goes inside to Darian Milton. Milton takes Delaney to the hole, turning, spinning, shooting. Darian scores. Good. Wildcats too quick. Down the floor will come Cookeville once again, all the way across the way. Nearly a steal by Bohanon, saved away by, once again, number 32, Matt Neighbors. Neighbors back to the top, swings it over to Mullins, so a new player in the ballgame, to Delaney, turning, spinning, shovels it up, no good. On the rebound, Tim Kane had it, knocks it out. It'll be Oak Ridge's basketball. Last touch by the Cavaliers. Delaney's pretty frustrated right now. He is really having to battle on the inside, and he's just not as quick as the Wildcats.
Yeah, and he really forced that shot, David. He was out of position and just sort of scooped it up and threw it off the glass.
15-11, Oak Ridge by 4. 3 minutes to play. We're in the first quarter of this non-district ball game from the Oak Ridge High School gym. Mike Gipson with it across the line to Brock. There's Shaun Bohanon, wide open 3-pointer. Why not? Up, no good. Mike Gipson, offensive rebound. Back up with a shot, stripped, and he's fouled. Mike Gipson skied to get that board.
He got up, David. He took the elevator to the top floor and got the rebound.
And Mike will go to the free throw line as he was fouled. Oak Ridge on top by 4. 15-11, 2:54 to play in the first quarter, and Gipson will go to the free throw line.
Gip has 2 points in the ball game. He's yet to attempt a free throw this evening.
Philip Leander on camera from the top view, and Chad Kroll down with a lower shot. As Gipson goes to the line, his toss is good. Mike has 3 points in the ball game, and back to the line he'll go. Oak Ridge by 5, 16-11 our score. Back to the line he'll go. Oak Ridge playing with Velbrock, Tim Kane, Shaun Bohanon, Darian Milton, and Mike Gipson. Second toss on its way, no good. On the rebound will come Mullins. Mullins, a sophomore, takes one dribble, then hands it off to number 10, Stan Davis. Davis, they're still in rear court. Long pass across the way to number 3. He walked, no call. He drives, he has the ball ripped out of his hands by Velbrock. Knocked out of bounds by the Wildcats. Wildcats hustling all over the floor as John Marsh, I thought he was going to come back into the ball game. It'll be Cookeville basketball.
Yeah, the Wildcats are going with a smaller lineup because they have to. John Marsh with 2 personals early, Darian Milton, and I guess Tim Kane's going to sort of be the post for the Wildcats.
Velbrock gets the steal, can't take the shot, now wants to go back inside to Gipson, saved by Brock. 2:35 to play, the Wildcats for the basketball, up by 5, 16-11. Tim Kane dribbles to the midcourt circle, comes off to his left, comes back to his right. Having trouble with it, fires it over to Bohanon. Bohanon back to Kane. Kane will drive. Kane stops, pops, no good. On the rebound, Tim Kane had it, knocked it out of bounds. It'll be the Cavaliers with the basketball underneath the goal. Cookeville basketball. It'll be John Mullins to work the ball in. The Wildcats on top by 5, 16-11. They've yet to get the ball in. Now they fire a pass intercepted by Bohanon, saved by Delaney. Delaney fires a pass down the floor. Off it goes to Davis. Davis inside of number 24. His shot is good. Brandon Flatt knocks it home. And Oak Ridge's lead is 3, 16-13 the score. And down the floor once again, Oak Ridge. Off it goes to Bohanon. Bohanon too quick driving. Inside it goes Milton. Shot good. And he's fouled. Great drive and feed by the Wildcats, and Darian has 4 points and he'll go to the free throw line.
Yeah, well, Darian's probably the most athletic person on the team. He can jump out of the gym, and he's coming off a great game against Clinton, as Mike Gipson will have a seat, and into the ball game will be number 4, Kenneth Herring.
Darian will have one shot here. Oak Ridge on top by 5, 18-13, a minute 58 to play. Back to the free throw line, one shot. Darian, one shot, eyes it, guns it, 3-point play. Darian hits the free throw. Down the floor will come the Cavaliers, moving from left to right, wearing all red jerseys with a little blue and white. They fire a pass intercepted by Kane. Kane and the Wildcats back the other way for Oak Ridge. Kane shoves off, gets position inside to Darian. Darian drives in, he's fouled. Blocking foul call against number 34, John Mullins. The Wildcats up by 6. 19-13, facing a 6-1 Cookeville basketball team. It'll be Oak Ridge once again with the basketball underneath the goal. It'll be Shaun Bohanon to work the ball in. Wildcats on top, 19-13. We're in the final minutes of the first quarter as Steve Wittenberg comes into the game, a 6'6 senior. Checking out of the ball game will come Brandon Flatt.
He's not 6'6.
It'll be Oak Ridge to work the ball in to Velbrock. Brock in the right corner gets a screen, goes in for the shot, and kicks it back out instead to Herring. Back to the top, won't take the shot. Kenneth dribbles to the top, looks inside, and Milton back it goes once again to Kane. Kane back to the right side to Darian Milton. Back to Kane for 3, no good. On the rebound will come the Cavaliers. With it will come Stan Davis. He pulls up, here's a shot from 10 feet, rattles out, no good. Back up, Wittenberg missed it. And then on the rebound attempt, a foul is going to be called against the Wildcats. That'll be the 4th team foul called against Oak Ridge. Minute 23 to play. It'll be, let's see, Cavaliers basketball underneath the goal. To work the ball in for them will be number 3. That'll be Andy York. 19-13 the score. It's a 6-point ball game. York works the ball inside to Delaney. Delaney turning, spinning, shooting, no good. He's fouled. It's kind of a late whistle by Shoemaker, but I think it's a good call because I think he did catch him on the arm, and that'll send the Cavaliers to the free throw line.
He did, David. That's just one of those calls where Shaun did a nice job challenging. He got a little over-aggressive, and he came over and hit the elbow.
For Bohanon, that'll be his 2nd personal foul. At the line, Terry Delaney. Delaney has 2 points in the game, and this will be his first attempt from the line. Toss, good. 19-14 the score. Back to the free throw line he'll go as Jordan Clark comes off the bench. Mike Gipson comes off the bench as well. Mike replaces Herring. Shaun Bohanon comes out for the first time. Checks out of the game for the Wildcats with 8 points. 19-14 Oak Ridge on top. We're here with a minute 20 to play in the first quarter. Shot is missed. On the rebound will come Velbrock. Brock with it across the line for the Wildcats. Over it goes to Darian Milton. I thought he was. Bell's going to take it on in. No good. On the rebound, knocked out by the Cavaliers of Cookeville, and Oak Ridge will get the basketball. Delaney's going to check out of the ball game. Back into the ball game will come Brandon Flatt. It'll be Oak Ridge with the basketball underneath the goal. 1:11 to play. We're in the first quarter. 19-14 the score. Oak Ridge on top. Live on AM 1290 WATO, Tennessee Cablevision Channel 12. Vel Brock will try to work it in, and it comes to Jordan Clark. He goes in for the shot. No good. Personal foul is going to be called. It'll go against Cookeville. It'll go against the Cavaliers number 50, Steve Wittenberg. And for Wittenberg, that'll be his first personal foul. Team foul number 6. It'll send Jordan Clark to the free throw line with 2 shots. Jordan is yet to score in the ball game. I think it was in double figures in the junior varsity ball game, and he'll have 2 shots here. 19-14 the score, 5-point Oak Ridge lead. 1:09 to play in the first quarter. Jordan's toss is up, right side of the rim, drops off no good. Back to the free throw line once again will go Jordan Clark. Toes the mark, eyes the cylinder, gunning his second free throw, trying to get in the scorebook. Tosses up, short. On the rebound will come the Cavaliers. Pulling down the board, Brandon Flatt. Flatt with it across the line to the top of the key for 3. On its way, off the rim, no good. Tim Kane on the rebound. He's fouled by Wittenberg. Wittenberg comes over the back of Tim Kane. And for Wittenberg, that'll be personal foul number 2. And back to the other end of the floor once again will go the Wildcats. Exactly a minute to play in the first quarter. Oak Ridge on top, 19-14.
Yeah, well, Tim Kane's gotten a lot stronger in his high school years. He's really went up strong, and he was able to rip that one away, and now he'll go to the line gunning for his first points of the ball game.
At the line for the first time, Kane, as you mentioned, a senior, will go to the line. Oak Ridge playing with Jordan Clark, Mike Gipson, Darian Milton, Vel Brock, and Tim Kane. And obviously, you know, Darian's got a lot of playing time the other night against Clinton, and you know, Darian's upped his game as well.
He's improved tremendously from his junior to senior year. David had a great game against Clinton, had a couple of breakaway dunks as Tim Kane knocks down the free throw.
Oak Ridge on top by 6, 20-14, and Kane will stroll back to the free throw line. Good crowd on hand here. A lot of students in attendance. A lot of the football players as I look across the gym. Second toss, missed on the rebound. Oak Ridge's Gipson up good. Offensive putback bucket, and Oak Ridge leads 22-14 here in the first quarter. Down the floor will come the Cavaliers once again. Brandon Flatt, cross-court pass intercepted by Kane. Saved right back by Jackson. Jackson inside to Delaney. Delaney shot, brick. No good. Rebounded up and good by Andy York. And the Wildcats have the basketball running again. Vel Brock down the far right side, pulls up inside the paint, goes inside to Jordan Clark. Shot is up, and it's good. Jordan Clark scores his first 2 points, and Oak Ridge leads 24-16. And now York is going to be warning a warning on the Wildcats for pushing the ball away. So explain the rule, Joe.
Well, Darian put his hands on the ball after it went through the basket, and that supposedly gives the defense an advantage and let them set up in their defense.
So the Wildcats do get the warning. 30 seconds to play first quarter, 24-16. They have the basketball. Delaney to the right corner. Coach Shipley, Coach Carringer, very active in his yelling to his team. Stan Davis for 3, no good. On the rebound, Mike Gipson to Kane. Tim Kane with the basketball for the Wildcats. Wildcats are going to get a dunk. No, it's Vel Brock. Takes the shot, no good. He's fouled hard by the Cavaliers. I thought the Wildcats were going to get a breakaway with Darian Milton, but it's going to be Vel Brock fouled, and he'll go to the free throw line. 13.3 seconds to play, 24-16. We're in the first quarter, and Vel will go to the free throw line.
Vel in the ballgame has 1 point, 1 of 2 from the charity stripe.
Wildcats playing with Clark, Kane, Brock, Gipson, and Milton, and it's Vel Brock at the free throw line. First toss up, good. Brock hits the free throw. 25-16 the score. Back to the free throw line once again will go Vel Brock. Second toss up, off the rim, no good. On the rebound will come the Cavaliers. Pulling it away, Brandon Flatt. He brings it down the floor with a pass to Neighbors. Neighbors thought about a 3, goes inside. Then a foul is going to be called underneath the goal against Oak Ridge. I think it'll go against Jordan Clark by his facial reaction. That is the case, and Jordan picks up personal foul, let's see, number 1. John Marsh is on the bench with 2 personal fouls. 6.4 seconds to play. We're in the first quarter. At the free throw line will go Matt Neighbors. Both teams have committed a lot of fouls here as Neighbors goes to the line for Cookeville. First toss on its way, good. The girls won tonight 57-40. It was a 24-24 ball game at the half, but they eventually did win the ball game, leading by over 20 at one point in the second half. Both free throws are good. 25-18, a 7-point Oak Ridge lead in the first quarter. Mike Gipson in rear court over to Kane. Kane inside Clark, layup, good. Great ball movement as the first quarter comes to a close. Starting score after 1 quarter of basketball here at the Oak Ridge High School gym. The Wildcats lead it 27-18. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Back here at Oak Ridge High School, yeah, I would like to ask you to shop at Townsite Treasures as well and add to the Joe Caldwell Scholarship Fund. 27-18 the score here from Oak Ridge High School gym. The Wildcats are on top off the early flurry of points by Shaun Bohanon. With it is Cookeville inside her court. John Mullins comes with it up top is Mark Jackson. Jackson down low to Brandon Flatt, who loses the ball out of bounds, but it goes into the hands of Matt Neighbors. Matt Neighbors throws it into the Oak Ridge bench, and it'll be Wildcat basketball. The Wildcats start the second quarter with Mike Gipson, Vale Brock, Tim Kane, Jordan Clark, and Darian Milton. Shaun Bohanon set to check in along with John Marsh. Tim Kane with it down on the baseline. Tim Kane looking to penetrate, can't. Looking for a slash, and Jordan Clark goes over to Mike Gipson. Mike Gipson looking to drive. He goes between the legs, finds himself in the lane. Short jumper off the rim, no good. Rebound Cookeville. I thought David was going to take back over as Cookeville with it. There's number 32, Neighbors, I believe, takes pass inside to Delaney. Delaney off the glass, no good, but he was fouled. Foul will go against Darian Milton. That's his second personal in the ball game, and the Wildcats lead 27-18. John Marsh returns along with Shaun Bohanon. They replace Darian Milton and Vale Brock. It'll be number 12, Terry Delaney to line. Really, the Wildcats have put the clamps on the junior. I believe he's averaging like 20-something points a game, 24 points a game, and he only has 2 in the first quarter. So he'll go to the line for 2 shots. As the first toss up, no good. Just struggling from the field. You can see it on his face.
Credit the Wildcats on that. They have frustrated him in the first quarter, especially defensively. He had bodies all around him everywhere he went. He missed the first one. He knocks down the second.
It's Wildcat basketball with it, working against full court pressure. Jordan Clark enters it to Tim Kane. Kevin McMahon off the bench, set to check in for Wildcats. Tim Kane will bring it up against token pressure. Up on top to Jordan Clark. Quickly reverse over to Mike Gipson. Mike Gipson cross-court pass to Tim Kane, who finds a slashing John Marsh at the high post. Back up on the wing to Tim Kane. Tim Kane looking to penetrate, crossover dribble, poked away, out of bounds, and Shoemaker wasn't even paying attention to the play as it was knocked out of bounds, and the ball will go back to the Wildcats. Into the ball game is Kevin McMahon replacing Jordan Clark. 27-19 the score. 6:54 remaining here in the first half. Shaun Bohanon to work it in from the corner on the far side, looking for slashing Tim Kane. Instead comes in rear court to Mike Gipson. You can just throw it up there with Mike Gipson. He'll go get all those. Mike Gipson will look to go one-on-one. As he drives, penetrates, kicks it on the wing to Tim Kane. Tim Kane looking inside instead, back up top to Kevin McMahon, who thought about a three-pointer. Unable to control it, works it inside to John Marsh. Dump down low to Mike Gipson. And a travel might be called, or perhaps there's a trip, a foul called against number 12, Terry Delaney, his second personal. And that will send Mike Gipson to the line for the 1-and-1. The Wildcats with a smaller lineup, playing with Tim Kane, Kevin McMahon, Mike Gipson is at the line, Shaun Bohanon, and then the 6'7" monster, John Marsh. 5 points in the ballgame for Mike Gipson, gunning for 6, and he does. 2 of 3 from the charity stripe tonight. 28-19 the score here from Oak Ridge High School gym. The Lady Wildcats extended their streak to 4-0, and also the junior varsity picked up on the boys' side their first win of the year as Gipson guns in his second toss up and ends. 7 points in the ballgame for Mike Gipson. The Wildcats jump out in the half-court trap as Terry Delaney dishes it down low to number 32, Matt Neighbors. He goes off the glass, no good. Tip again by Brandon Flatt, up and in. Flatt scores his 6th point in the ballgame. Now the Wildcats are being pressured. Mike Gipson, he'll just dribble right through it. as he's got a 3-on-2 break. Thought John Marsh was going to play. Great play by Kevin McMahon as he saved it, called the timeout in the air, and with timeout the score, 29-21, and we'll be back here from Oak Ridge High School in 1 minute. And we're back here at Oak Ridge High School gym, 29-21 the score. Joe Caldwell along with David Clary, Nathan Forbes Jr. back at WATO Studios. It's Wildcat basketball. Wildcats off a great play by Kevin McMahon, and he'll shoot a three-pointer, no good. Rebounded by number 14, Mark Jackson, and down the court come the Cavs. Ahead it goes to Matt Neighbors, who finds a wide open Andy York off the glass, no good. Ball battled for, Flat gets it, goes up and in. Nice rebound there by Brandon Flat. Excuse me, as he scores his 8th point in the ball game, and the Wildcats now have it. 29-23 to score. Velbrock looks to penetrate, loses the handle on it, and Delaney has it. He has a 2-on-1 break against Mike Gipson. He gives it up. Number 14, Mark Jackson, goes up and in. Wildcats might need a timeout here, 29-25. Gipson crosses the timeline. 5:30 remaining here in the first half. They go to Shaun Bohanon on the far side. Shaun wants to penetrate, can't. Shaun with 8 points in the ball game, 2 of 4 from behind the arc as Kevin McMahon thinks about 3. Instead, back over to on the wing to Shaun Bohanon. Bohanon with it up top, Gipson. Gipson back to Bohanon, playing catch on the wing to McMahon. McMahon looks to drive, goes to the high post to John Marsh. Marsh, 12-foot jumper, no good. Big rebound, Mike Gipson. It goes back inside to Marsh. It goes up under pressure and scores. John Marsh scores his 4th point in the ball game. Nice pass there from Gip to Marsh, who had a nice touch, and it scores 31-25. Back down the court, Andy York blows the layup. Delaney goes up, no good again, no good. Up off the glass and good. Delaney scores his 5th point in the ball game. The score is now 31-27. The Wildcats have let Cookeville crawl back into this one as Velbrock has it with it up top. Quickly reversed over to Kevin McMahon. He throws up a 3-pointer, no good. Long rebound taken away by Matt Neighbors of Cookeville. Cookeville, of course, coached by former Oak Ridge head coach, Coach Steve Shipley, who has turned that program around. They go to the top to Terry Delaney. Delaney working against Mike Gipson. Turnaround jumper, no good. Struggling from the field is Terry Delaney. He's their leading scorer on the year with averaging 24, only with like 4 points in this ballgame. 31-27 the score. Mike Gipson from way downtown, no good, but there's John Marsh on the rebound, off the glass, good. 6 points in the ball game for John Marsh. Great touch as he laid it gently off the glass for the easy deuce. Darian Milton, along with Tim Kane, set to check back in the ball game as Delaney gets down low, blows the wide open layup, but was fouled. Foul goes against number 20, Kevin McMahon. Mass substitutions once again by Coach Steve Shipley. We saw this earlier in the junior varsity matchup. Coach Shipley's not scared to pull all his players out, and Delaney, if he's able to knock down these two, will also come out of the ball game. 33-27 the score, 5 points in the ball game for the junior Terry Delaney. 2 of 4 from the charity stripe. Delaney eyes the toss, release, rotation, splash. He knocks down his first. 6 points in the ball game for him. 33-28 the score. 4 minutes remaining here in the first half from Oak Ridge High School gym. Second toss is up and good. And into the ball game for Cookeville will come number 40, Zach Buckley. So the Cavs playing with all new players. Andrew Keene, to look for number 10, I believe, Stan Davis into the ball game, along with the sophomore, number 34, John Mullins, and number 50, Steve Wittenberg. Wittenberg in a little bit of foul troubles. Mike Gipson's trapped in the corner. Great touch pass. Bohanon to Milton. Count it, baby. Darian Milton scores his 7th point in the ball game, and the score is now 35-21. Down drives on the baseline. Mullins off the glass, leaves it short, gets his own rebound again, up and in. The sophomore Mullins scores his first deuce in the ball game, and the score 35-31. Back and forth down the court as Darian Milton again turns around and scores. Darian Milton with 9 points in the ball game, getting close to his career high, I believe, as there's a pass deflected out of bounds, and it'll go back to Cookeville. Darian Milton's come alive here after football season, had an outstanding game against Clinton. He has 9 points this evening, as I believe, if I'm not mistaken, David, that is his career high. The Wildcats get the steal. There's Shaun Bohanon, throws it down for the stuff. Got it hung on the rim a little bit, but he was able to throw it down, scoring his 10th point in the ball game. off the great anticipation and the steal. 39-31 the score, and that's what the Wildcats need to get going here. Cookeville with it. That's number 10 on the wing. Stan Davis works down to Mullins. Mullins tries to go inside, steal by Vale Brock. Vale's got a 2-on-2 break to Mullins. To Darian Milton off the glass and good. Darian's got 11. He's going crazy. 41-31 the score, and so are the fans here at Oak Ridge High School gym. With it up top, Steve Wittenberg. They try to go inside and they throw it away. Cookeville might need a timeout here as Delaney will return, and he will replace number 40, Zach Buckley. Buckley will have a seat. The Wildcats have gone on a flurry here. As Darian Milton, indeed, has almost doubled his career highs. His last career high was 6 points against, I believe, Anderson County and Clinton, which he scored last Friday night in the Oak Ridge loss. 2:20 to go, 41-31 the score. Mike Gipson whips a pass to Darian Milton. Milton back up outside to Tim Kane. Tim Kane whips it on the wing to Vale Brock. Vale with it at the key, looks to penetrate, can't. Lose the ball momentarily. He's able to regain control of it, dishes it off to Milton. Ball battled around. It's Cookeville basketball. Terry Delaney's got a 1-on-2 with Shaun and Tim, and a reach-in is called on, I believe, Tim Kane. Indeed, that is the case. The foul will go against number 12, Tim Kane. That'll be his first personal, and I believe that'll be the 10th team foul, or rather the ninth team foul against the Wildcats. So Terry Delaney will go to the line for the 1-and-1. 8 points in the ball game for Terry Delaney. 4 of 6 from the charity stripe. Eyes the toss up. It's no good. Long rebound, Darian Milton. Milton clears it to Mike Gipson. 2 minutes to play. Wildcat lead is 10. Here Mike Gipson with it. Whips it on the wing to Shaun Bohanon. Bohanon looks to penetrate. Looks for a posting Mike Gipson. Instead cuts a slash and Tim Kane off the glass. Good. Beautiful cut by Tim Kane and great bounce pass from Shaun Bohanon, and Tim scores his 3rd point of the ball game. And the lead's now 12, 43-31 with 1:45 to play here in the first half. With it, Cookeville. That's Stan Davis on the wing looking for a posting Delaney. Delaney guarded by Shaun Bohanon. They double team him. He goes off the glass, no good. Again, up and in. 10 points in the ball game for Terry Delaney, and down the court comes Mike Gipson. Mike Gipson ahead to Tim Kane. Tim Kane looks for a post and Darian Milton. Instead, he'll drive baseline, guarded by Delaney. Dishes it down low inside, taken away by Cookeville. Down the court comes Delaney. Delaney, ball batted off the hands of Shaun Bohanon and into the far bleachers. Then it'll be Cookeville basketball underneath their own goal. 43-33 the score. Darian Milton has come alive here as Kenneth Herring comes up off the bench, and he'll replace Mike Gipson, who will get a breather. And it'll be Cookeville basketball. To work it in will be number 3, Andy York, the 6'1 senior. Goes inside to Delaney. Nice look inside to York. He threw it up, lost the handle. The ball goes out of bounds. It'll be Cookeville basketball. Nice look there by Delaney. York was unable to control it, and he threw it out of bounds, but it was off Tim Kane. It'll be Cookeville basketball. They look for a post in Delaney. They turn around jumper on Shaun Bohanon. Great move there by Delaney. He has 12 in the ball game. 43-35 the score with a minute to play here in the first half. With it, Kenneth Herring. Token pressure by the Cavaliers. Tim Kane on the wing. He looks to penetrate baseline. Nice spinning jumper. No good. Rebound. Cookeville down the court with it. Matt Neighbors. Neighbors ahead to York. York looks for a post and Delaney instead throws it to Vale Brock. Vale, he's got an advantage. 3-on-2 break. He tries to cut the lane, and a charge, I believe, will be called against Vale Brock as he was a little bit out of control with his body. Tried to make the dish and pushed, and indeed that was the case, and that will send Cookeville to the line for the double bonus, and he will have 2 shots upcoming. Matt Neighbors will go to the line for 2 shots. Matt Neighbors in the ball game really kept Cookeville in it early. He has 9 points in the ball game. Really kept him in it early when Terry Delaney was struggling a little bit, but Delaney has come on late and has 12 points. Cookeville will send as Delaney will have a seat, and Zach Buckley will return. Neighbors to the line for a pair.
He's 2 of 3 from the line.
3 of 4 from the line now is Neighbors with 10 points. 43-36 to score, 44.2. Second toss is up and nothing but nylon. He knocks that one down. The Wildcats get it in quickly to Kenneth Herring. Herring almost double dribbles. Goes between his legs, working against Davis. for Cookeville. It goes on the wing to Bellbrook. The Wildcats wanting to spread it out here. They go up top to Shaun Bohanon. Bohanon looking to penetrate against Matt Neighbors, is playing nice defense, and that'll go off his foot into the waiting arms of Kenneth Herring. Back up top, Bellbrook controls for the Wildcats. 24 seconds left. 43-37 the score. Bellbrook looking to penetrate. Davis backing off. Again, Bellbrook will break the count. Coach wants to go one-on-one with Bellbrook and Stan Davis. He tries to back in, trying to find somebody to get open, throws it on the wing to Kenneth Herring, who's been known to throw up his few threes. Goes up, great pass to Darian Milton at the buzzer. Count it. Great pass from Kenneth Herring to Darian Milton, and Milton scores his 13th point in the ballgame to lead all scorers. 45-37 the score. Darian Milton perfect from the field. 6 of 6 from the field and 1 of 1 from the charity stripe. 45-37 the score, David.
I tell you, it was an exciting half of basketball. Both teams going up and down the floor. The Wildcats showing their athleticism. All down the floor. Off it goes on the right side to Kane, dribbling to her right. His right, stops over to Gipson. Gipson back out to Bohanon. Bohanon for 3, no. On the rebound will come the Cookeville Cavaliers, and down the floor with the basketball once again will come Cookeville. The Wildcats 45-37 the score. Down the floor it goes to Wittenberg. Wittenberg unable to shoot. Works the ball to the left side. Back out high. He goes once again to number 14, Mark Jackson. Here's a shot. It's up, no good. Delaney on the rebound. Back up. Blocked by Marsh. Personal foul we called against John Marsh. If that is the case, that'll be his 3rd personal foul. That is the case. Marsh with his 3rd foul. 7:29 to play in the 3rd quarter. 45-37, Oak Ridge on top. And at the free throw line, we'll go Terry Delaney. Delaney has 12 points in the ball game. 4 of 7 from the free throw line. Takes a couple dribbles, eyes the cylinder. First toss on its way up and no good. Hits the rim, no good. He's really struggling from the field and from the free throw line. Delaney back to the line, 45-37. The Wildcats have led most of the way, leading 27-18 after 1 quarter, and they lead 45-37 now. Shot is up, good. Delaney has 13 points in the ball game, and down the floor with the Wildcats, Mike Gipson. Gipson had Bohanon, goes to Marsh, back to Gipson. Gipson penetrates, back it goes to Marsh. 5-footer, block foul called against Delaney. Delaney's going to be called for his 3rd personal foul. And with 7:21 to play in the 3rd quarter, and Leah, looks like you're it here, color commentating here courtside as John Marsh goes to the free throw line. John has 6 points in the ball game, and this will be his 1st attempt from the free throw line. And Leah, you can see probably in the first few ball games that John has improved leaps and bounds since last year, especially in the confidence department.
He sure has improved. He's really improved, especially on his strength and his ability to make good decisions with the ball.
Hit the first toss and back to the free throw line. He'll go. 7 points. Shot is on its way. Good. John Marsh hits both free throws. Now has a total of 8 points. The Wildcats working hard defensively, and the Cavaliers are able to get the ball in bounds. And it comes to Delaney. Delaney top of the key. Oak Ridge on top by 9. 47-38 the score. With the basketball, number 14, that'll be Jackson. Jackson, here's a stolen pass, taken by Oak Ridge, then thrown away by the Wildcats. It'll be the Cavaliers basketball. Oak Ridge playing with Tim Kane, John Marsh, Shaun Bohanon, Mike Gipson, and Bellbrook. To work the ball in for them will be Wittenberg. Wittenberg works the ball in, and down the floor with the basketball will come Jackson. Jackson comes cross-court with a pass off to number 12. That's for the shot. That's up, no good. Missed the 3-pointer that time by Neighbors. Rebounded by the Cavaliers, back up, and good. They hit the bucket, and back down the other way will come the Wildcats. Their lead is 47-40. Mike Gipson at the free throw line, turning, spinning, shooting, good. Mike Gipson makes another great offensive move, and he's able to score the 2 points, and Mike now has a total of 9 points in the ball game. Down the floor will come Cookeville once again. Wittenberg, bounce pass inside Delaney, takes Marsh to the hole, turning, spinning, shot blocked by Marsh, taken away by Bellbrook. Brock with the basketball for the Wildcats outside the 3-point line, gives it over to Gipson. Gipson in the right corner, can't take a shot from there. Looks to a cutting Kane, can't get the ball to him now. It goes to Kane, right corner, 3-pointer up, no good, but he's fouled. Personal foul will go against Steve Wittenberg. That'll be his 3rd personal foul. Tim Kane was in the act of shooting a 3-pointer, and he'll go to the free throw line with the 3 shots upcoming. Tim in the ball game only with 3 points in the ball game, and he'll have 3 shots. As the timeout is asked for. So a time of the quarter score, 6:16 to play, 9-point Oak Ridge lead, 49-40, and we'll be back in 60 seconds. Clary, Nathan Forbes, and Leah Sharp here with us. Also Philip Leander and Chad Kroll on camera. It'll be Tim Kane at the free throw line. He'll have 3 shots here. He was fouled in the act of shooting a 3. He's 1 of 1 from the line tonight. Tosses up and good. Tim now with a total of 4 points in the ball game, averaging just around 20 points per ball game. Second toss on its way, good. Tim Kane, nice stroke, now with 5 points. Oak Ridge by 11, 51-40 the score, and back to the free throw line. Aaliyah, with the football players coming back, the athletic part of the Oak Ridge Wildcats have really come to play here in this ball game.
It has. The tempo has really picked up and increased with the great penetration abilities of Mike and Bell.
With the basketball will come the Cavaliers once again. Number 14 works the ball to the left side. Back and forth they go. Top of the key, off it goes to Flatt. Flatt tries to work it inside Delaney, turning, spinning, kicks it back out to Wittenberg for a shot, good. Wittenberg scores his first 2 points, and Oak Ridge up by 10, 52-42 the score. Mike Gipson with the basketball to Shaun Bohanon in the right corner. Bohanon looking at a 3, now will penetrate along the baseline, continuing to drive. Nearly stripped of the ball, turns and shoots anyway, he's fouled. Personal foul will go against number 24 for them, Brandon Flatt. That'll be his first personal foul, and that time he drew the foul, and Shaun Bohanon will go to the free throw line with 2 shots. Shaun has 10 points in the ball game, and this will be his first attempts from the line. He'll have 2 shots as he was fouled in the act of shooting. 52-42 the score. Tosses up good. Wildcats shooting the ball from the free throw line extremely well, as Shaun now has 11 points in the game, as Andy York checks into the game, and Darian Milton, who's having a career night already with 13 points, which is a career high for him, will come back into the ball game. Shaun Bohanon toes the mark. Shot is on its way, short. On the rebound will come Wittenberg, and down the floor with the basketball will come the Cavaliers. Oak Ridge on top by 11, 53-42. This is the boys' game here from the Oak Ridge High School gym. Friday night, Bradley Central will come to the Oak Ridge High School gym. No junior varsity ball game as Wittenberg takes one up, no good. On the rebound, once again, the Cavaliers, and here's a block shot by John Marsh. They're going to call him with a personal foul. That'll be the 4th foul of the night on John Marsh, and he'll have to come out of the contest. And Jordan Clark will come off the Oak Ridge bench to take over for John Marsh. 53-42, Oak Ridge by 11. Shaun checks out of the ball game, and John checks out as well. It'll be number 3, Andy York at the free throw line. He has 2 points in the ball game, and this will be his first attempts from the free throw line. Jordan Clark, Darian Milton, Mike Gipson, Tim Kane, and Bill Brock in the ball game as the free throw is on its way up and no good. Bradley Central's girls, an outstanding basketball team, and Leah, you'll have to play really a better ball game Friday night than you did tonight, or it's going to be could be a long night against Bradley Central.
That's true. Is the better the teams that we play get, the better we're going to have to play. We can't have laps like in the first quarter, the first half of this game.
Down the floor will come Oak Ridge's Tim Kane, takes the shot, it's up, no good, battles for the rebound, it's knocked out of bounds. It'll be Oak Ridge's basketball. Good hustle. Final score of the girls' game was 57-40. The Lady Wildcats now 4-0 on the year as they work the ball into Kane. 3-pointer from the left corner. It's short. Brock deflects the rebound into the hands of Mullins, and down the floor once again will come the Cavaliers. Oak Ridge by 11, 53-42 the score. Under 5 minutes to play in the third quarter. With the basketball, Stan Davis, number 10, bounce pass inside Wittenberg, back to Davis, can't control the pass, he throws it nearly away, saved up high by number 32, Matt Neighbors, who comes cross-court pass intercepted by Kane. Tim Kane with the basketball, takes it the full length of the floor, goes in for layup, good, and he's fouled. Blocking foul will be called against Matt Neighbors, and that'll be his first personal foul. Kane hits the bucket, great drive for him, and he has 8 points, and he'll go to the free throw line.
That was a real good move by Kane. He used his body well to avoid the defensive player, and he had good control to avoid the charge.
4 minutes, 41 seconds to play in the third quarter. Tim now with 8 points. He's 4 of 4 from the free throw line. And back to the line he'll go. Toss. Missed the shot. On the rebound will come the Cavaliers, and down the floor will come Cookeville. All the way down the floor it comes to York, outside the line, penetrates to the right extension of the free throw line. Over it goes to Wittenberg. Wittenberg can't find York cutting through, gives it over to Neighbors. Neighbors swings around the right wing, gives it off on the left side to Davis. Davis back to York. Looking inside Wittenberg, can't get the ball to him. Inside it goes to Mullins. Mullins drives through, and then away from the ball. Personal foul, I think, is going to be called against Jordan Clark. And that is the case, and Jordan picks up, let's see, personal foul number 2. It'll be the Cavaliers with the basketball underneath the goal. 4:20 to play. 55-42. We're in the third quarter of this non-district ball game from the Oak Ridge High School gym. Saturday night, the Wildcats will travel to Shelbyville, and there still is space available on the bus as they take the shot up and good. Andy York hits the bucket, and he has 4 points. The bus is $20 to Shelbyville. For more information, you can contact Judy Sharp at 482-6426. It's a big bus, reclining seats, a VCR, and a bathroom on board. It'll leave at 3 o'clock from the Oak Ridge High School parking lot. Cost us $20 for this big ball game down in Shelbyville on Saturday night. Oak Ridge basketball. Gipson fires a pass inside to Milton. Darium off for the shot. No good. Gets his own rebound. Wants to go back up with it. He does. No good. Tip back up. Mike Gipson. No good. And pulled away again by the Cavaliers. And Delbrock nearly steals it. York pulls it away for the Wildcats. And down the floor once again will come Cookeville. They work the ball inside. Delaney goes in for the shot. He's fouled by Jordan Clark. Jordan picks up his third personal foul. 3:33 to play in the third quarter, and mass substitutions coming into the ball game again for Cookeville. Oak Ridge playing with Velbrock as Shaun Bohanon comes back off the Oak Ridge bench along with Kenneth Herring. Velbrock will check out. Mike Gipson will check out. 3:33 to play, third quarter, 55-44, Oak Ridge by 11 points. Philip Leander on camera from the upper view. Chad Kroll also doing the camera work tonight. We're on Tennessee Cablevision Channel 12. At the free throw line will go Terry Delaney. 13 points in the ball game. Holding at 13 as he misses yet another free throw. And now the crowd beginning to get on his reactions as he pounds the ball hard down to the floor. Delaney, a fiery fellow, has an air ball. And that really gets the crowd going. He brought this crowd reaction on himself by his reaction.
He sure did. It's a big display of attitude and a little kind of childish pout. Kind of brought on a little taunting from the crowd.
Down the floor will come Oak Ridge. Kenneth Herring at the point, works it over to Kane. Kane back out to Jordan Clark to Shaun Bohanon. Has trouble with the dribble, grabs it on the floor. Comes cross court to Herring. Kenneth inside, Jordan Clark turning, spinning, shooting up. And it is no good. On the rebound will come the Cavaliers. The Wildcats on top by 11, 55-44. They set for a three-pointer, no good. Long rebound, Delaney. Delaney back in the left corner, pulls it up once again, sets for a three-pointer, good. He knocked that one down, and he has a total of 16 points. And the Wildcat lead is 55-47. Here's Tim Kane off the glass shot, good. Kane in double figures now with 10. Back the other way will come the Cavaliers. Outside it goes to number 5. Andrew Keene for 3, no good. Long rebound tracked down by Kane. With the basketball will come the Wildcats, and they lose the ball out of bounds. Pass intended for Kenneth Herring goes off his fingertips out of bounds. And with exactly 2:39 to play in the third quarter, Oak Ridge's lead is 10, 57-47. Steve Shipley, former head coach of the Oak Ridge High School Wildcats, directing the Cookeville Cavaliers to our left. Coach Chuck Carringer, head coach of the Wildcats, to my right. They drive in. There should be an offensive foul set up nicely by Oak Ridge's Shaun Bohanon. That is the case, and the Wildcats will get it. Nice defensive setup that time for Shaun Bohanon.
That was a great defensive play by Shaun Bohanon. That was very smart and good setup and got his feet still.
Oak Ridge basketball playing with Darian Milton, Kenneth Herring, Jordan Clark, Shaun Bohanon, and Tim Kane. Here comes Kenneth bringing the ball down the floor. 57-47. Cross-court pass will go off to Bohanon. Bohanon takes his man one-on-one to the baseline. Double team there. Works it inside Jordan Clark. Great play, Oak Ridge. Give the assist to Shaun Bohanon. Give 2 points to Jordan Clark. He has 6 points in the ball game, but the play was made by the penetration by Shaun Bohanon.
Right, Shaun just merely penetrating into the defense, drew 2 defenders on him and left his teammate open.
Here's the alley-oop play to Delaney, no good. Gets his own rebound, fires it back up there, and good. 18 points now the ball game for Delaney, and back the other way will come Oak Ridge, leading by 10. 59-49 the score, a minute 55 to play third quarter. Kane with it to Herring. Around the right side it goes to Darian Milton. Back to the corner to Bohanon. Bohanon outside the three-point line to Kane. Lost the dribble, picked it up on the floor. Big battle for it. A jump ball is called. The arrow points towards the Cookeville Cavaliers. Oak Ridge up by 10. turning the ball over. It's 59-49, and Cookeville will bring 4 new players into the ball game. The only player remaining in, I guess they'll bring 5 in, as they'll get Delaney out of the contest. Back in will come Stan Davis. Wittenberg also checks back in. Brandon Flatt's in the ball game. Andy York's in the game. 59-49 the score. 1:43 to play in the third quarter. And down the floor once again the Cavaliers, moving from right to left as they bring the ball across the line. It goes to Stan Davis. Davis works the ball inside. Here's a shot, no good. Jordan Clark on the rebound, knocked out of bounds by Oak Ridge. 1 minute, 32 seconds to play, third quarter. 59-49 the score. As Greg Woofter comes off the Oak Ridge bench, and he'll see his first action here in the varsity ball game as they work the ball in for a shot. Good. They score with number 24, Brandon Flatt, and for him that'll be 10 points, and back the other way will come Oak Ridge. Their lead is 8. 59-51 the score. Shaun Bohanon dribbles right, pulls up, shoots off the glass, no good. On the rebound will come the Cavaliers. Quickly down the floor will come Wittenberg. Wittenberg layup, good. Wittenberg hits the bucket. He has 4, and they have closed the gap to 6. 59-53 the score. The Wildcats with a minute to play will slow things down here in the third quarter. With the basketball, Kenneth Herring spinning out a treble to the top of the circle, coming back to his right, fires a pass to Bohanon. Bohanon falls down, behind the back dribble, great athletic play. He turns, kicks it back out to Herring, to Oak Ridge's Milton for a shot. Offensive foul called against Darien. Wildcats had Tim Kane wide open on the wing, but Darien tried to go on through, and he's called for the offensive foul. Third personal foul called against Darien. It'll be a player control foul. We'll give the Cavaliers the ball as Jordan Clark and Darien Milton check out. Back into the ball game will come Vel Brock. The Wildcats playing with Kane, Woofter, Brock, Bohanon, and Herring. With the basketball will come the Cavaliers. They can cut the gap even further. It's down to 6. 59-53 the score. Here's a steal by Kane to Herring. He can't control it. Saved away by them. They have an easy layup out of it. Neighbors scores, and he now has 15 points, and Oak Ridge's lead is only 4, and the Wildcats struggling, just holding onto the ball here in the final minutes of the third quarter. 59-55 the score. Tim Kane outside the three-point stripe. We're down to 19 seconds to play in the third quarter. Kane holding the ball for the final shot here in the third quarter. 13 seconds to play. Counting it on down. Kane penetrates to his right, gives it over to Herring. Kenneth Herring penetrates in, drives, goes inside to Bohanon for the shot. No good, he's fouled. Personal foul will go against number 3, Andy York. That'll be his second personal foul. 4.6 seconds to play. The Wildcats have seen a substantial lead in double figures dwindle down to only 4 at 59-55, and Shaun Bohanon will go to the free throw line. He has 11 points in the ball game, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Bohanon at the line, toss, good. Shaun now 2 of 3 from the line, a total of 12. 60-55, a 5-point Oak Ridge lead. Shaun Bohanon, senior, should have been Mr. Football, wasn't. Toss good. Now with a total of 13 points, and down the floor will come the Cavaliers. The final shot at the buzzer is no good as the third quarter comes to a close. So our score after 3 quarters of basketball here at the Oak Ridge High School gym, it's Oak Ridge 61-55. And we'll be back in 60 seconds. Works over on the right side. Back and forth they go. Out the top it goes to Vel Brock. Thought about a 3, won't take it. There's Shaun Bohanon in the right corner. Won't take the 3-point shot. Continuing to dribble to the top of the circle. Bounce pass back to Brock. Back to Bohanon for 3 on its way. No good. On the rebound will come the Cavaliers. Shaun Bohanon misses the 3, and they have the basketball. Oak Ridge on top, 61-55. And down the floor with the basketball will come the Cavaliers. Outside for a 3-point shot. They won't take it. Back to Neighbors it goes. Back to Delaney. Delaney already we've seen take a 3. They're working into Wittenberg. Back to Delaney for 3. No good. On the rebound, Woofter battles. Mike Gipson pulls it away. Down the floor with the basketball, Oak Ridge's Bohanon. They throw the ball away. Thanks, Joe. Thanks for returning from the student section across the way. Oak Ridge had a big lead, but they've seen it dwindle down, Joe.
Yeah, they really have, David. A late flurry of points there by Delaney. He pretty much took over late in the third quarter. Crowd got on him a little bit, but he was able to come back with a 3-pointer and an easy deuce, and he cut the Oak Ridge lead.
With the basketball will come Delaney. He'll take it inside. John Marsh battles for it on the floor, steals it. John Marsh with it, tied up, arrow points towards the Cavaliers. Good hustle on the floor by the big guy, John Marsh. And he and Delaney battle it out on the inside.
Yeah, for a big guy, he's not scared to get down on the floor, and he's pretty mobile for his size. He runs the court well.
It'll be Cookeville's basketball. They trail Oak Ridge 61-55. They've yet to get the ball in. They've yet to get it in. Now they do in the right corner. Will come number 10. Sets it out to the right side. Unable to shoot. Now they take the shot. It's up good. They rattle it in. And down the floor will come Oak Ridge. Mike Gipson with it across the time stride. 61-57, only a 4-point game. Bill Brock looking to his left. Bounce pass goes off to Kane. Kane guarded closely. Gives it over to Bohanon. Bohanon to Gipson. Has to save it right in front of the Oak Ridge bench. Gipson, as the defense has extended a little bit, the Wildcats have gone on a little scoring drought here as Mike Gipson penetrates to Kane. Kane, top of the key, looks inside of Marsh, comes cross court, wide open Bohanon, three-pointer. It's going to be short. On the rebound will come Oak Ridge's Vail Brock. Back in, behind the back layup, good. Great play, Vail Brock. 63-57, great reverse layup that time for Vail.
Yeah, just an outstanding athletic play by Vail.
Wittenberg to the top, lost the ball, saved right back by Flatt. He drives in against Bohanon, shoots, no good. Tip again, no good. Pulled away by the Cavaliers, then they lose the ball out of bounds. Wildcats will get it. Up 63-57, trying to win their second game of the year.
Yeah, well, David, I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Shipley brings the Cookeville defense back, sucks them in, and he needs to make Oak Ridge hit a couple shots from the outside. Most of their points have been on putbacks and penetration, so I wouldn't be surprised. It looks like they're going to break out in a little 2-3 zone, or rather they're actually bringing it back out for man-to-man, so what do I know?
Oak Ridge with the basketball, 63-57. Mike Gipson turning, spinning, driving over to Kane in the right side. Tim Kane bounce pass back to Gipson. Gipson outside the three-point stripe. 63-57, looking into Marsh, can't get the ball to him. Foul out high is called against Wittenberg. I think he fouls John Marsh. For Wittenberg, that'll be personal foul number 4. One in the bonus in effect. To the free throw line will go Oak Ridge. 5:34 to play in the ball game. 63-57, Oak Ridge on top.
Yeah, well, David, I just don't know how Cookeville's going to be able to play man-to-man here because they're just totally outmanned athletically. You know, with Shaun Bohanon, Tim Kane, Vail Brock, and Mike Gipson out on the court, and even Big John Marsh. I mean, they really don't have somebody that can match up with him.
Marsh will go to the free throw line. He'll have one in the bonus, and Marsh has been shooting the free throws well this season. He has 8 points in the game, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. John shoots, no good. On the rebound will come Delaney, and they have the basketball, trailing Oak Ridge by 6, 63-57. Last year at Cookeville in the regular season ball game, not in the tournament game, they won the game on a last second, banked in three-point shot. There's a three-point air ball out of bounds, and Coach Shipley is living on that particular play. And Oak Ridge will get the basketball.
I remember I was sick last year, and I just was able to make the trip. I was pretty under the weather. Got up there. That was probably the worst trip I ever made. Just I was sick anyway, and then to lose, it just compounded things.
Down the floor will come the Wildcats. It goes to Mike Gipson. Wildcats on top by 6. 5 minutes to play in the ball game. The girls won tonight 57-40. Came to the basketball right in front of the Oak Ridge bench, and they're going to say he steps out of bounds. And I didn't really see that, and I was right down it. They're going to say that Tim saying to the official that he was pushed out of bounds, but that's good defense by the Cavaliers.
Oh yeah, it was. He forced him baseline or sideline, cut it off, and Tim stepped on the line.
Delaney driving the basketball inside the paint, turning, goes in for the shot. Marsh gets the offensive rebound, goes out of bounds. I tell you, Marsh, has he just found out of the ball game? If that's the case, it's a bad call. It's not the call. The ball goes out, last touch by Marsh, but Marsh created a problem for Delaney, kind of altered his shot and caused him to miss.
Yeah, well, that's just an example of John Marsh doesn't have to block shots. He just has to make people alter their shots, and that's a prime example right there, David.
Steal by Bill Brock. He can't control it. Saved away by the Cavaliers. They work the ball to Delaney. Delaney drives, stops, guns, shot good. Delaney gets kind of a garbage bucket, and it's a 4-point game. 63-59, 4.5 minutes to play. The Wildcats trying to desperately hold on to this lead. Tim came with the basketball. Down the floor, he stops. In trouble. Goes inside, lost it. The ball picked up on the floor by the Cavaliers, then picked up right back by them. And a foul is going to be called on the floor against Shaun Bohanon. 4-point game, and could the Wildcats be running out of gas here in the second half?
Well, David, they might be a little bit, but Cookeville, they've seemed to substitute a lot more than the Wildcats. The Wildcats have used more of a platoon system, sending in units together rather than just sort of shuffling players in and out.
Cavalier basketball. 16 foul call against Oak Ridge. It's a 4-point Wildcat lead. 63-59 the score. The Cavaliers, and away from the ball, a foul is going to be called. It'll go against number 30 for them. Shaun Bohanon, that'll be his 4th personal foul. So I thought he said red. That's why I was kind of mistaken. That'll be Shaun's 4th.
As the entire student body and the people in attendance here tonight holds up 4 to Coach Carringer to let him know that indeed Shaun has 4 personals.
Terry Delaney at the free throw line has 22 points in the ball game. 63-59. Oak Ridge trying to hold on to the lead. It was in double digits. It's now down to 4. 4 minutes to play in the ball game. Delaney shoots. Good. 3-point ball game. Back to the free throw line he'll go. Now timeout is asked for. Let's take one ourselves. 63-60 Oak Ridge. Back in 60 seconds. Shaun. Thanks a lot, Shaun. Back here at the Oak Ridge High School gym. The Wildcats on top 63-60. Delaney back to the free throw line, averaging 24. He has 23 now in the ball game. Trying to equal his, or what he's averaging on the year. Trying to close the gap to 2. Toss, good. 63-61. The Wildcats on a drought offensively. Cookeville staying right in the ballgame. The Wildcats need somebody to step up and hit a big shot. Mike Gipson, Bill Brock, Shaun Bohanon, Tim Kane, and John Marsh, the original starting 5 in the ballgame. Kane is trapped in the right corner, has a lot of trouble, gets rid of the basketball with a long pass to Brock. He can't save it. Kane got flustered on that trap in there and turns the ball over.
Yeah, well, that's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to trap these quicker athletes of Oak Ridge and cause some quick turnovers. David, you mentioned Terry Delaney has 24 points. I know that's one of Coach Carringer's team goals is to keep the leading scorer of the opponent down to under 20, and they haven't done that thus far.
John Marsh just blocks the shot, and Oak Ridge gets the rebound, holding on to a 2-point lead, 63-61. Mike Gipson to Bill Brock, inside to a cutting Gipson, goes in for the shot. Is it good? No, it's no good. A foul's going to be called, I think, against Delaney. Delaney has his 4th personal foul, and Oak Ridge will go to the free throw line. What a ball game. 3:32 to play in the game. Oak Ridge holding on to a lead, 63-61. Mike Gipson will have 2 shots upcoming. Mike in the ball game has 9 points, 3 of 4 from the free throw line. Delaney checks out with 4 personal fouls. Back to the free throw line. Mike Gipson, first toss up, good. Oak Ridge by 3, 64-61 the score. Mike Gipson back to the free throw line, senior point, 6 foot tall. Guns the shot on its way, it's short. On the rebound, Wittenberg. Wittenberg down the floor for the Cavaliers. With it across to Jackson. Jackson penetrates to the top of the key, swings it up. Won't take the 3. They go inside of Wittenberg. Shot off the glass, good. Wittenberg scores, and it's a 1-point game. Oak Ridge on top, 64-63, 3:18 to play. Down the floor once again, Mike Gipson has trouble with his dribble, grabs it, backs up to the midcourt line. Has Shaun Bohanon in the right corner. Now he sends him through, and he'll take play. He'll get himself down to that corner. Now he's in trouble. Has to get rid of the basketball. Now does finally to Kane. Kane drives in. Can't go all the way through. Kicks it back out. And a foul is going to be called against York. It'll go against Andy York for the Cavaliers. And for him, that'll be personal foul number 3. That'll send Kane to the free throw line. Kane, a good free throw shooter, has 10 points. He's 4 of 5 from the free throw line. 64-63. What a struggle this has become here in the second half.
Yeah, David, it really has. And with Terry Delaney on the bench, the Wildcats are going to have to get something going. I'm surprised Coach Shipley, he's going to have to put Terry Delaney back in the ball game. But and Steve Wittenberg's going to have to pick it up for the Cavs.
Free throw is missed. John Marsh battles for the rebound. Shaun Bohanon grabs it. Then a foul's called. Personal foul again against Andy York. Wildcats will get another opportunity at the free throw line. Big tip in. John Marsh almost fouled out, but he was able to keep the ball alive, and Shaun continued the battle, and it'll be Oak Ridge at the free throw line. Oak Ridge by 1, 64-63, and Shaun will go to the line. Wildcats on top only by 1. 10th team foul called against the Cavaliers, so it'll be the double bonus in effect. Shaun short with his free throw.
Shaun has 13 points in the ball game, 3 of 5 from the charity stripe.
Back to the free throw line he'll go. 64-63. 2:54 to play in the ball game. Bohanon toes the mark, shoots. No good. John Marsh keeps it alive, throws up a shot, he's fouled, no call. Then they turn the ball over. Travel called against Brandon Flatt. Wildcats fortunate as John Marsh pulled down that board, and then he got hammered, and Oak Ridge will maintain possession.
Yeah, well, John Marsh, he was a victim of a makeup call as I believe they felt like Oak Ridge climbed the back on the prior plays, so they let him play a little bit there, but luckily Cookeville committed the turnover, and it'll be Oak Ridge basketball. It's Tim Kane from way downtown. Big shot, three-point basket, Tim Kane.
Big shot for him, and the Wildcats lead is 4, 67-63. The Wildcats quickly back on defense. With it will come Jackson to York. Swings it around once again to Davis. Davis inside Delaney, driving, stopping, blocked! And they're going to call a jump ball. Arrow points, Oak Ridge. They're going to call it jump ball situation. John Marsh got his big hand down on the ball and just kind of mashed it down, and that's a jump ball, and the arrow points towards the Wildcats.
Yeah, that's a big-time defensive play there by John Marsh, and there he is again, just being a dominant force in the middle for the Wildcats.
The girls won tonight 57-40. The junior varsity also won as the Wildcats worked the ball in, leading by 4. 67-63. We're down to 2:28 to play in the ball game. Mike Gipson will bring it across the line. Spinning to his left, spinning to his right. Ball's picked up on the floor by Mike, has trouble with it, shovels it over to Brock. Knocked out of bounds by Cookeville. It'll be off the leg of Mike Gipson or Brock, and they're going to say it's Cookeville's basketball.
David, there's one of the worst calls in basketball of all time right there, David.
He said it went off of Bell's knee. I didn't see it at all. It'll be Cookeville's basketball side court. 2:18 to play, 67-63. They work the ball in. Then it comes to Davis. Davis left side to Delaney. Delaney drives right, fires it up to the top. Nelia walk, driving, unable to shoot. They set it out to Davis. Working the ball inside to Flatt. Nelia stripped the ball, and a foul is going to be called. 2 minutes, 7 seconds to play in the game. Oak Ridge on top, 67-63 over the Cookeville Cavaliers. And
that's the 5th foul against John Marsh, if I'm not mistaken, David, and he'll have to have a seat with 2:07 to play. And David, he's made some big defensive plays down the stretch for the Wildcats, and that's really going to hurt him.
At the line will go Brandon Flatt. You're exactly right. John has done a good job. Does foul out of the ball game. He strolls out to a nice round of applause from the Oak Ridge fans. Darian Milton is going to come into the ball game getting final instructions from Coach Chuck Carringer. Darian checks into the game with 13 points. He'll check in at the post, and they'd moved him to a wing, but Darian is ambidextrous, and he goes back in at the post position. To the free throw line will go Brandon Flatt. He'll have one in the bonus. 67-63. Toss, good. 3-point Wildcat lead. 2:07 to play, 67-64. The Wildcats in the 60s for the first time this season. Back to the line will go Brandon Flatt, 6'2" senior. Flatt has 11 points in the ball game. Missed that one badly. On the rebound, Oak Ridge's Darian Milton. Milton to Mike Gipson, the Wildcats with the basketball and a 3-point lead. 67-64. Mike Gipson inside Darian Milton, layup good! Great penetration, Gipson give Darian his 15th point of the game, and Oak Ridge leads 69-64. Wide open three, good. 3-point shot, Stan Davis, and Cookeville will call a timeout. 1 minute, 45 seconds to play in the ball game. Oak Ridge on top, 69-67, and we'll be back in 60 seconds. Thanks a lot, Scott. Back here at the Oak Ridge High School gym. Oak Ridge on top, 69-67. This is David Clary, Joe Caldwell, Nathan Forbes, our engineer back at the station. Oak Ridge basketball. In it comes to Gipson. Gipson over to Kane. The Wildcats with the basketball. Minute 42 and counting. Oak Ridge by 2 and the basketball. Kane works the ball to the right. All the way in. Hop step. Fouled. Personal foul is going to go against number 32, Matt Neighbors. That'll send Tim Kane to the free throw line. Back into the game, or coming into the game, will come Brandon Flatt. He checks in. Checking out will go John Mullins. And Oak Ridge will send Tim Kane to the free throw line. 2 shots upcoming.
Tim has 13 points. He is 4-6 from the charity stripe tonight.
Missed his last 2 shots. Tim needs to knock these down. Double bonus in effect, so he will have 2. 69-67, Oak Ridge by 2. Kane shoots. Hits the front end of the rim, no good. Back to the free throw line will go the senior. 13 points in the ball game. Second toss, good. Oak Ridge 70-67 over the Cavaliers. And down the floor will come Cookeville, moving from right to left. Long pass to number 24, back to the top to number 14. Looks the ball inside to Delaney. Delaney kicks it back out once again. Trying to get the ball inside. They'll take the three, and there it is. He won't take it. Now he penetrates in. Gives it inside to 24's Flat. Good. Brandon Flat hits the shot, and immediately they call a timeout. 1:18 to play. Oak Ridge 72-69 over the Cavaliers. Joe, let's keep it right here. What an exciting game we've seen here. Cookeville, and a very good team. They come in at 6-1. The Wildcats trying to win their second game, and they have really had their hands full. Wildcats had double-digit lead in the second half, but haven't been able to maintain it.
Yeah, well, this is a very good Cookeville team. As mentioned, David, they defeated Clinton earlier in the season, and of course Oak Ridge lost to Clinton, of course not being at full strength, but they've really come up here. Terry Delaney has impressed me in the second half. He has 24 points, much of that coming in the second half. I believe he only had 8 at halftime, and I thought that the Wildcats really played outstanding defense on him in the first half, but now they just he's just taken over as of late.
The replay of this game and the girls' game can be seen on Tennessee Cablevision Channel 12 tomorrow night. We'll also have a live Off the Glass show with Coach Chuck Carringer and Coach Jill Pruden, each taking calls live on Tennessee Cablevision Channel 12. Wildcats come out with Tim Kaine, Darian Milton, Mike Gipson, Bell Brock, and Shaun Bohanon, 70-69 as they do correct the scoreboard. It is a 1-point game. Oak Ridge basketball, only 1:18 to play. This is the way that game last year came down to the...
Don't remind me, David.
Bell Brock will work it in, has yet to do so. Now knocks it off the foot of Delaney. No time off the clock. Oak Ridge will try to work the ball in once again. Oak Ridge on top by 1. Coach Steve Shipley directing his Cavaliers against the Wildcats as the ball is worked into Mike Gipson. Gipson in rear court has trouble with it, gives it over to Brock. Brock looking for some help. The Wildcats need to get the ball across the line. Now they do with a long pass to Darian. Here it comes in for the jam. Good. Darian Milton hits the shot. Oak Ridge on top, 72-69. Under a minute to play in the ball game. Down the floor once again will come the Cavaliers. Outside will come number 10. That'll be Davis. Davis around the left side, back to Neighbors. Neighbors cross court. Davis thought about an NBA three-pointer. Here it comes. No good. Rebounded by Delaney. He's fouled. Fouled by Mike Gipson. He took that shot from way downtown, as you would say, McMahonland, as the foul is called, and to the free throw line will go Delaney.
Yeah, well, that was definitely from McMahonland. As he pump faked, Mike Gipson flew by. He took one dribble back, even further behind the arc, and gunned up the three. And I thought it was in, David.
Terry Delaney will have 1 in the bonus. 9th team foul called against the Wildcats. Delaney, 24 points, 25 points. As he hits the free throw, it's a 2-point game, 72-70, 46.7 seconds to play in this basketball game. From a loud Oak Ridge High School gym, Delaney gunning for 26. Missed it. On the rebound, Mike Gipson. Wildcats with the basketball. Gipson spins out of trouble, and then a foul is going to be called against Cookeville. Wildcats will send Mike Gipson to the free throw line, up by 2, 72-70, 43.6 seconds to play in the game.
Yeah, well, Gibbs 4 of 6 from the line tonight with 10 points, but these are definitely the 2 biggest of the ball game.
Mike strolls to the line. Senior, the Wildcats playing with Bohanon, Darian Milton, Bell Brock, and somebody else, Tim Kaine, and Mike Gipson's at the free throw line. At the line, Mike Gipson, 2 shots. The first of which is up, no good. Wildcats struggled at the free throw line against Clinton. They missed that shot. Back to the free throw line will go Mike, trying to make it a 3-point game. 72-70 the score. Mike Gipson to the line, second toss up, no good. On the rebound, the Cavaliers. Delaney pulls it away. 2-point game. Down the floor, off on the right side, they'll pull it. Won't take the shot. Here's a steal by Oak Ridge. Mike Gipson down the floor will bring it across the line. He's fouled. So they had an opportunity there. They just turned the ball over. They're going to force Mike Gipson once again to the free throw line.
Yeah, that was a big time play. It looked like number 14, Mark Jackson, just sort of lost the handle on it, and the Gip was able to pick it up and race it down the court, and he'll go to the line yet again for 2 more.
31.6 seconds to play in the game, 72-70. Mike Gipson, 2 shots. Missed his last 2. First one up, good. 3-point game, 73-70. Oak Ridge on top. Trying to make it at least, well, a 2-possession ball game, barring a 3-point shot and a foul. Toss, no good. And the rebound will come, number 24, Brandon Flatt. 28 seconds to play. It's a 3-point game, and a timeout is asked for by Cookeville. Go through last year's ball game, Joe. They had the basketball, they came down, and Martin hit that big 3-point shot. Explain what happened in that game.
Well, David, I believe we were up by 1 or 2, and they had possession, and we knew it was going to him. Scott Martin, he's about a 6'8" wing player, had an excellent touch on the ball, and they threw it down to him. He drove the length of the floor, threw up a prayer with somebody in his face right from behind the arc. It went in, banked in at that, and we lost the game. It was a very disappointing loss for us.
73-70, the fans who came to this game, and we have practically a full house, have gotten their money's worth tonight. The girls were in a struggle. They did pull out and win a 57-40 win. The junior varsity also won tonight. Their game not quite as close. They did have to hold on. The Wildcats presently on top of this one, 73-70. The junior varsity won 53-44. There's only 25.8 seconds to play. Do you go ahead and try to get 2 here, or do you try to tie it with a 3?
Well, David, I think what you do here is you run a play for the 3-pointer. If it's not there, I wouldn't force a shot, because you can always foul, send Oak Ridge back up to the line, and see what happens.
Wildcats come back out from the bench with Mike Gipson, Bill Brock, Darian Milton, Shaun Bohanon, and Tim Kane. 73-70, 25.8 seconds to play in the ball game. They'll try to work the ball in. They've yet to do so. Now it finally comes in to number 10, Stan Davis. Davis guarded by Gipson aggressively. He works the ball to Jackson. Jackson looking to Delaney. We're down to 17 seconds to play. Back to Davis. He drives, stops, kicks it back out once again off to Jackson. Here's the 3-pointer, short. On the rebound, they've got it. Kicking it back out. They need to get in his face. He won't take the shot. Back to the top once again to Jackson. Here's the 3-pointer, blocked by Bohanon. Rebounded by Kane, out of bounds. Last touch by Oak Ridge. Shaun Bohanon got up and blocked that 3-pointer with 2 seconds to play in the game.
Great defensive play there by Shaun Bohanon. Great defensive play, and I believe Coach Carringer wants a timeout to talk about it.
We'll hold it here again. Wildcats on top, 73-70. Only 2 seconds, so they have plenty of time to get the ball in, but the Wildcats are no way in the world they're going to let somebody be that open to get that 3 off.
Yeah, well, David, I thought Cookeville was a little tentative. They had a lot of good looks, a lot of good times where they could have got that 3-point attempt off, and I don't think anybody wanted to take the shot.
73-70. The block shot by Shaun Bohanon on a 3-point shot, a clean rejection. What a play for him.
Oh yeah, just a great play. Came out of nowhere, took it to the next level, and got the block. Oak Ridge has to be careful here not to foul the jump shooter. I'm guaranteed Coach Carringer is reiterating this, and I guarantee that's the last words he'll say as the team breaks the huddle. Watch, switch everything, and do not foul the jump shooter.
73-70 the score, 2 seconds to play. The Wildcats trying to win their 2nd game of the year and even their record at 2-2. Cavalier basketball, 2 seconds, 3-point game, 73-70 Oak Ridge. The Cavaliers need a 3 to tie. To work the ball in for them will be Matt Neighbors. Here comes to Delaney, back to Neighbors. They've got this 3 they wanted. It's up, no good. The game comes to a close. The Wildcats win the ball game by a final score of 73-70. And Matt Neighbors got the 3 off, just wouldn't drop for him. And Oak Ridge wins it by 3.
Boy, David, that was a nice play as they lobbed it in to Delaney, who made a touch pass over to Neighbors, but he was unable to knock down the 3-pointer.
We're going to take a break here. The Wildcats win all 3 games tonight. The girls win 57-40. The boys win. Final score of the ball game 73-70, and the JV wins 53-44. We're going to send it back to Nathan Forbes. We'll be back in 3 minutes.